Well, hello, my friends. Welcome to this week's episode of the Greenlight Weekend Podcast. Happy Friday. As always, I'm your host, Brian Nystrom, and we have a sponsor. Our sponsor, as you may know, is Dead Room Comedy. Dead Room Comedy is a comedy group and production company based in Denver, Colorado. You can find any and everything you need to know about them at deadroomcomedy.com. You can also follow them on all social media platforms at Dead Room Comedy. And the most exciting thing about these guys is the videos they're putting out each and every week. You can find those on their YouTube channel. Guess what? It's Dead Room Comedy. They're fucking hilarious, these boys. Their videos are so creative. I don't even know where they come up with the ideas. The execution is beautiful. They only put out good product, when it comes to their videos and their comedy. They're fucking savages. I love these guys. So do whatever you can to support Dead Room Comedy. I know they're doing shows up in Denver again. Follow them at Dead Room Comedy, and you can find out where all those shows are. If they come back in town, hopefully we'll have them back on, and we'll do some shows, and I'll let you know about that. But I love them, so go give them a follow at Dead Room Comedy on all social media platforms and YouTube, and of course, deadroomcomedy.com. This week's episode was a little different than our normal episode. I did not have a co-host. This was one of the few episodes I actually did when somebody asked to be on the podcast. It's not something I do often, but it was a good friend, and it's her birthday today. Today's her birthday. Yesterday when you listen to this, whatever. But yeah, it's her birthday. She asked if she could come on, and she's a homie, so I figured, fuck it, Emma Z, get your ass in here. Let's have a conversation. And it was fantastic. Jadrian was going to join us, but something happened. He couldn't make it. So it was just me and Emma Z. If you've listened frequently, you know I've done some of these solo guest podcasts before, and they have gone poorly. So I'm glad that this one didn't. It was a really good podcast. It was way less therapy talk than last time. We actually had fun. Last time, I feel like it was Emma's first time on a platform since she'd been sober. She had a lot of shit to work out, whatever. But this week was awesome. We did a roast of Emma Z this Monday. I roasted everybody because I'm a gentleman, and it was fucking fun. And then we did this pod. It was a great time. I like Emma Z. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. It was fantastic. Before we get into it, quick shout out to the Whiskey Real Boys, just because I love Sean Moe, and huge shout out to Ethan Esparza and the Chava people for the intro, outro music, just like every fucking week. I love those boys. Trips out in Norway. I hope to get to see them soon, but luckily I get to see Evan and James all the time. Enough rambling, Brian. Okay, we got open mics Mondays, 7:30 at the Starlight Lounge, hosted by Emma Z, and every Tuesday at El Rancho at 8:30. Sign-ups at 8. Just assume signups are 30 minutes before every show if you're a comic listening to this. And yeah, El Rancho Tuesdays, shit's fucking lit. I know Comic Uprising is about to be doing shows in Dolores again. There's whispers of maybe Las Vegas. I gotta do comedy in Farmington tonight. Sorry, I can't. Sorry, it's too late. You can't make it. But I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, episode 134 with my friend Emma Z.
This white boy in a black frames got the right voice for this rap game. Hella tight noise, but stack change and he acts strange like psilocybin. Light a joint, let the track bang. Hit a bone, laugh all night long, ain't worried about a damn thing. Shooting missiles so official, my initial no is triple. I'm about to blow million shows and I said fuck a whistle. When you gone, how you know your friends will miss you? Reminiscing about high times, picking out their favorite issue. But wait, haters say how is it you gon' make it happen? I'm in the mountains, man, I'll bait the game and trapping. Survival tactics, making blankets and jackets, microphone savage. Like fuck you, bitch, I'm the baddest. To the party like it's a red carpet.
What's up, Emma Z? You're here. You're dressed to the motherfucking nines. How you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm lovely.
Yeah, I heard you had a fantastic day disc golfing, and
I got my Harley running for the summer. I don't have a hose yet because I have an outside pump house, so we can't like turn the water on until it's a certain temperature at night.
right.
So I had to fill in buckets in my sink, take them out there. Fucking first one was like a rinse, just to get all the dirt off. And the second
Yeah.
one I took out there and I kind of did half the bucket as a rinse. and then I used half the bucket to like clean it, and then I did one more good rinse, and then I just dried her off with microfibers, bro.
Yeah, well, she's real shiny and she's looking pretty, so
Not bad, right?
Yeah, no, it's a sweet ass motorcycle.
I love it. And I got to take it for like an hour ride.
Nice.
But I took it to the gas station, and I got there and I was like, fuck, I don't really want to go like out of town too far, because when I go on a long ride I get sleepy, and I wanted to be good for the podcast.
Right.
So, and I was kind of hot, to be honest. I wore like just a long flannel, but it was almost too much. I was kind of hot.
Yeah, it's warmer today than I expected it to be. I like went out this morning to have my first cigarette of the day with my big fur coat on, and I was immediately like, no, this was a terrible idea. But that's just because it's always freezing ass in my house.
Is it hard to be Gotham this summer?
You know, I'm from like a hot state originally, so I feel like I handle hot temperatures better than other people, but
Right.
like, yeah, wearing black in the middle of summer is not always
Like,
the
and
best
there's
idea.
like exposed skin, you know, in today's outfit, but it doesn't look like a super breathable, like.
The top part is not, the bottom part is.
Is it? Okay.
Yes, because the bottom part's like flowy and nice, so like I get a nice breeze and it kind of just picks up, but yeah, the top is leather, so like there's this one band of sweat just right here. It's really attractive.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I
I have a line on my stomach all the way across. It might be from poor posture, and there's always just like a flap of skin laying right there.
Yeah,
But
I have a couple of those myself.
yeah.
Or I'll get like a line on my stomach from like my apron being tied so tight at work, and like the way my clothes like to be under my chef coat, they like kind of ride up and down simultaneously, so I just end up with like bunches of fabric tied in place throughout the day, and then I'll just end up with this like weird line, and then I don't
That sounds like a lot. I'm about to go just no shirt under my chef's coat. I'm so goddamn hot.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
so
dying
hot.
yesterday. I was wearing literally.
Yesterday was hot as fuck.
Yeah, that shirt that I was wearing yesterday is technically lingerie, but I was like, it's just been too fucking hot in here, and I was like, well, it's like silk and it's soft and it's flowy, and even with that on underneath. So I might also be going shirtless under my chef coat. Like, if you guys see me in my bra, oh well. Like,
Seems fine. Worst case scenario, you can go to the bathroom, but
yeah.
I'm just going to take my shirt off by the lockers.
Yeah,
Because why
same.
not?
Also, you know, like, I don't have an issue with changing shirts in front of people. Like, oh my God, you saw me in a bra, like, big fucking deal. And, you know, if you come to any of my comedy nights, you've seen me in a bra already.
Well, and swimsuits. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like women in a bra is a normal thing to see.
You would think, but like
A
the
child
other
could
day,
see
I
that.
like changed shirts in front of Logan because I was wearing like, I don't know, something uncomfortable, and I was like, I'm just gonna change shirts, and he was like, oh, what the fuck? And I was like, it's not really a big deal. I literally was wearing a see-through shirt 2 seconds ago. I just put on an actual shirt, but you know, whatever.
So there's like a couple fucking G's in the prep kitchen. There's a couple dudes that really know what the fuck's going on, and they keep Steamworks running, and there's no doubt about that. The majority is like the short bus of Steamworks.
Yeah,
Like Tones is basically the short bus driver. He brings half of them to work.
yeah,
And fucking everybody, you know, kind of gets rolling at their own pace. And
yeah. That's
I see a lot of that because I'm usually down there making bags. So I know exactly what they do in the mornings. And
Yeah.
I get there early because on Sauté, there's like almost so much to do
Yeah.
that you have to be early just to have time to
yeah,
to like go get yourself a cup of water. You know what I mean? And not just be stressed the fuck out.
yeah.
So, yeah, we have different mentalities is what I'm saying. Me and most of the prep kitchen. Like I said, there's a couple G's down there,
Yeah.
but the
No.
majority,
That's,
wild animals.
Dude, every prep kitchen I've ever encountered, or
Makes
just like
sense.
every prep cook, they're just kind of like, I'm here, I'm stoned, I'm hungover, I'm gonna listen to my own music.
I'm going to cut
and
300 mushrooms.
yeah, but I'm also gonna do it at my own pace, and I'm gonna bullshit a lot in between. And then you're like, what's up with those mushrooms? And it's like, well, we were fake wrestling near the Mayo for a while, and then we got Mayo on us, and you're like, how did any of this happen?
And
Like,
Logan threw up behind the dumpster. And
yeah,
I dropped my mask. So he throws up behind the dumpster. Me and Mario were sitting there. He's smoking a cigarette. We're talking about the special for the day.
yeah,
And then just water starts coming by, and he's like, oh, sorry, I had to clean up my throw up. And it's like right through where we smoke
oh god,
and like chill. I was just like, you motherfucker. And then I stood up and my mask fell in the water. So I was like,
Ew.
okay, so now I have to walk back to my truck and get the mask I hate because it's like all thick. you know?
Yeah.
God damn it, Logan. Fucking Canadians, am I right?
Yeah.
Texan Canadians are by far the worst.
Yeah. 100%.
The worst people in this country.
Um,
I'm just kidding if you actually watch this.
yeah, sorry, Logan.
Unless it's Logan. Fuck Logan. I'm saying other Texas Canadians.
Oh, I don't know any Texan Canadians. My mom's a Louisiana Canadian.
Really?
Well, she's pure Canadian, but my family, my mom's family moved her to
Does she have a fun
Louisiana.
accent?
No.
How old was she when they moved?
She was 14.
Yeah,
so they moved her down to Louisiana when she was
it's a
14.
perfect age to just blend into whatever scene is around.
Yeah, that kind of happened to me, too,
Mm-hmm.
because I was, I'm from Louisiana, so I moved out to New Mexico when I was 9, and I got to lose that accent, which is
What
fucking
was Louisiana
sweet.
like? Were there
Um,
more black people?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Because you moved to Taos when you moved to New Mexico, right?
no, we moved to Las Vegas, New Mexico first.
You did?
Yeah, me and Mario are from the same hometown. And
But you didn't have green hair then?
at
Maybe?
points, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I started dyeing my hair when I was 11, so I've done every color under the rainbow, so,
Right.
But yeah, no, I've been talking to Mario because I'm like, we both are from the same small town, and we're, literally just a year apart from each other, essentially. So, we had to have crossed paths at
I think
some
he
point.
grew up 40 minutes away, though.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. So I'm
Of
like,
a town
maybe,
of 500.
so.
He had to go 45 minutes to a gas station.
Yeah.
To a fucking gas station. I thought I was from the middle of nowhere.
Oh, no, that's New Mexico for you. There's just a bunch of teeny tiny shitty little towns all over the place.
Right.
And yeah, me and Jay were talking about that yesterday. And we're like, what's up with New Mexico?
Isn't he
It's-
from Gallup?
Yeah. Yeah, so we're all just
That's
New
the middle of
Mexican
fucking
scum
nowhere.
over here.
No.
Yeah.
At least I was lucky enough to be in Farmington, an hour from here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even though, my high school years, I was with my dad, right on the edge of the res. But there was gas stations.
Yeah.
You had to drive 5 minutes, but
Yeah.
it seems reasonable. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
could go get propane 5 minutes away. What happened when you ran out of propane at Mario's house? Maybe they had natural gas, but I'm guessing a town of 500 is running on propane.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Not enough revenue for the gas companies to run a line.
Yeah.
Because there was no stores.
Yeah.
He said there was one store and it was $8 for a loaf of bread.
That sounds about right. Yeah. There's a lot of these little tiny farming towns on the outskirts of the still very small towns that are the center of shit.
Like
there was
Las Vegas.
Yeah, exactly. So Las Vegas actually, we're going into history now, but it's the original Las Vegas.
Right.
Las Vegas, Nevada wasn't a thing before, Las Vegas, New Mexico was a thing. But Las Vegas, New Mexico at one point was the state capital of New Mexico and was the central area. It was the hot spot. People
It was
would
probably
travel
just
there.
a trading post.
Yeah, pretty much.
In
And
between
there was
Mexico.
there was a train station there, and it was like Billy the Kid lived there and shit like that. But
yeah.
because it was the central area in the 1800s, smaller little towns started shooting off, and the same thing happened with Santa Fe and Albuquerque, and that's why there's all these shitty little podunk farming towns everywhere because basically the railroads or anything. But anyway.
Well, there used to be a railroad that went from here to Farmington. And Farmington is in the middle of 3 rivers. It makes sense why people live there.
Yeah.
But it's still just not my favorite.
I've literally never been to Farmington, so I will be going for the first time ever in May.
Brace yourself.
Well, I'm not going for any reason other than to get tattooed with my mom, so.
Oh, you're going to go see my girl Casey.
Yeah.
Casey did this. It's beautiful. You see? Healed. These people have seen the versions.
Yeah.
No,
that's good. I decided that me and my mom were going to get matching tattoos for Mother's Day, so
that'll be fun.
Yeah. I'm excited. She's my only other family member that has tattoos, and she's been wanting one for a while, so.
Nice.
Initially, the plan was I was just going to get my own tattoo in honor of her for Mother's Day, and she was like, wait, what the fuck? I want a tattoo as well.
Nice.
And I was like, well, I didn't really think about that, but let's go get tattooed together. And so
That's what's up. Yeah, if anybody's from the area and you want a simple tattoo that's affordable, go see my girl Casey at Jake's Tattoo. She's the best, and she's super fun. You're going to like it.
yeah.
You're going to have a fun time.
Yeah.
And the owner talks shit. the whole time.
I
and-
mean, I've never had like a bad experience getting tattooed.
right.
Well-
I like it.
Yeah. I've had like bad tattoos,
Right.
but that was from my like crust punk Albuquerque kid days, not, from a shop.
Yeah, that was just bad decision.
Yeah. I've made a lot of those, but
Yeah. Are you gonna cry?
No.
Oh, okay. Your voice just changed pitch.
I have like a
Don't be afraid to just. These
Okay.
people have heard every disgusting noise I can make with my mouth
That's
because I refuse to edit. It's too much work.
yeah.
What
That's
am I
fair.
gonna do? Take a note every time I
That's
cough?
honestly my biggest fucking thing with why I haven't been posting as many TikToks lately is just because I'm like, I don't like, if I don't like the way this one clip was filmed, do I really want to refilm it and say the same thing over and over? And yet I wanted to be an actress at one
You
point.
should try to do a fucking podcast introduction every single week. You know how many times it takes me 7 tries? Because I like start coughing or I fuck up a word or
Yep.
you know what I mean? And if it's like a word, you can just roll. But like if it's like you fuck it up twice, you're like, God damn it, fuck
Yep.
this. Like, and you can't keep that in the intro, you know?
Yeah. Or you can, and
Right.
just,
I just want people to fucking. I've watched and listened to podcasts with like 45-minute intros and it's just rambling, and that's not the point of all this, you know. Like if I really have something to say, sure, toss it in there or promote mics or whatever, you
Yeah.
know. But to just download my fucking day on these people when really I want them to listen to the guest,
yeah.
you know, and I want them not to just skip through. I want them to hear the fucking music because it's my homie and I want to promote their stuff, you know. I just want it to be easy to listen to, and sometimes that takes 8 goddamn tries, and by the end I'm so fucking flustered.
Yeah.
And I'm just like trying to just clear words and I'm going really fast. Dead
Yeah.
red fucking comedy, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to like watch your intros a little differently now, knowing all of this.
You should know it. Everybody should know. It's a fucking nightmare every time I do it. There's times I walk in and just like nail it, but that is rare, few and far between. It's
Oh,
hard
yeah.
to it's hard to schedule inspiration like a podcast or a mic or
Yeah.
a showcase. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to schedule when you're going to be on.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I frequently will be like, man, I like don't really want to host this mic tonight, Like not because I'm sick or anything. I'm just like I just don't have like the mental energy to like be doing comedy and hosting and trying to like be up and loud and energetic and sociable and like make a show happen, but you just gotta kind of fucking do it anyway, and that's why I drink entirely too much caffeine on Tuesdays.
Oh.
It's coming to bite me in the ass though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sleeping good.
Or like at all, like last week actually, I got sick from the amount of energy drinks that I drank throughout the night. So I went home and
You
like
go the healthier route. You should start drinking tea or something.
yeah, they don't have tea at bars and they don't let you bring in your own drinks at most bars, because
I
they're-
walk into Moe's with an iced coffee almost every week.
okay, the Starlight is different. I
Yeah.
feel like at the ranch they would be a little more whatever, but it's like having sober
But
options.
you can always just get like my jam was soda water with lime.
Yeah.
Like, and they would throw some like raspberries in there and shit, and you felt kind of
So-
fancy, and it's bubbly.
I did that not last week, but the week before, and I got basically just like the virgin version of what my drink was, which was like a tequila soda with a little splash of cranberry juice. So that's what I got, just
So
minus
soda
the
water
tequila.
cranberry.
Yeah. But as I was drinking it, I like basically convinced myself that there was booze in the drink, and I started feeling like I was buzzed, and it was totally psychosomatic, but it freaked me out because I was like, what if she did put tequila in there? And I was like, why
Interesting.
would Angie
It's
just
like phantom limb syndrome.
yeah,
like
or
this
like
part of you was itching, but wasn't even there.
yeah, or like I'll have dreams that I'm drinking again and I feel physically fucking wasted in the dreams, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh, that was weird. Like, no, I'm still sober, but okay.
Dude,
You
there
know?
was this reoccurring dream I had, and it was like the night before my drug test, and I would smoke weed in the dream almost every month.
Mhm.
And it was like I would wake up fucking panicking because I knew I had a drug test. I knew I was on point,
Mhm.
like all this work and like effort to be sober and get a job and show the courts that I'm trying,
Yeah.
all this shit. And then I'd have a dream that somebody passed me a pipe, and just out of instinct I hit it.
Yeah.
Which in real life happened all the time, but I never hit it because I'm fucking awake, you know?
Yeah.
But I would have these dreams and fucking wake up like, ah! And then it took hours before I was convinced that I was going to pass my drug test.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like I was just chilling in my living room at the house I lived in with my friend that I lived with. Like, you know, it felt so real.
Oh, yeah. No, like, since I've started working at Steamworks, I've been having dreams that, like, I just drank the shift beer, you know? And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, that was 6 months of sobriety, just down the tubes.
Right.
And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, wait, no, the shift hasn't started. You haven't had the shift beer. You're good. Like, just don't drink it and we're cool. But, like, yesterday, you know, I went up to the bar and got my shifties to give to, like, Aaron and Jarrett. And as I was like walking with them, I was like very tempted. I
You
was
almost
like,
took a sip?
Yeah, I
Just
totally
so it
thought
didn't
about
spill.
Yeah, or like, you know, it just felt. I was like, oh yeah, these are two ice cold.
And those glasses feel
fucking
good.
They do. They're
nice.
like ice cold Colorado Kolsch's. Like it had been a long day. It was hot. I was kind of grumpy, and I just like. I was like, I could totally drink this right now. Like, I remember what it tastes like, and I started getting the craving, and that's when, like, I got really antsy to leave, because I was just like, I can't stay here, like, around.
It's a drinking environment, and everybody around you is getting more and more inebriated and louder and less like them sober selves.
Yeah.
Like, even, I'm not going to say his name, but even our boss was, like, getting loose.
Oh, yeah?
Loose out there.
Which one? Downstairs?
Downstairs. Yeah, it might have been after you left that he started getting real loose, but I went and started fucking with him because I was getting a little loose. I still had to drive, but I was getting a little loose and just having fun. Something about talking to Aaron, and he's like half Spanish, half English, and he's loud and big.
Oh, yeah, he's fun, dude. I like Aaron.
I'm going to get him on the pod. He's only been in the country for 6 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
He tried a bunch of times and like something went wrong. I want to hear the story on the fucking podcast, you know, because the first time he started telling me, I was laughing and like the next second, like, oh my god, and like just.
He's got great energy. I was scared of him at first, but you know.
I was a little scared of him, but he was always nice to me. And once they see you want to work, man, all of us, like once we see you want to work, and I knew you wanted to work, obviously, or I wouldn't have like recommended you for the job or recommended you to take the job, because we would have taken damn near anybody because we need it. But I knew you would work, but everybody's coming around to you for sure. Yeah. But like when you see somebody that's just obviously not trying, like I don't even talk to those kids.
Yeah. No, it sucks because I've been put in this place where I'm forced to interact with
cold
those
side.
kids. Yeah. And it's just like, dude, and if I commit murder at work, at least it will be justified and nobody will be mad at me for it, you know?
Everybody's thought about hurting that kid.
Yeah. 100%.
But we don't. We're not going to say his name.
I'm having this weird moment of like, I think I used to be his boss and that's why he's such a little shit to me, but I don't remember him well enough to know if I was his boss.
I get it. I've already forgot people I worked with at Steamworks.
Yeah, I think he used to work at Grassburger and I was his boss over there and he sucked over there and I made it clear that he sucked over there and now he's being all shitty with me. But whatever. There's also actually another Grassburger kid coming to work at Steamworks, I guess. He got hired. I don't know where, but at least he was one of the good ones. But yeah, more children coming to work with us. Yay!
The strong survive. Have you met little Tyler? He's like 17.
Yeah.
Good looking kid.
Good looking.
Well, I don't know. I think he's a good looking kid. He's like in shape, just clean cut.
You're not talking about
big goofy fucker. Not the big goofy fucker.
Okay.
He's like shorter than me. Cut.
Kind of freckly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that motherfucker works.
Yeah, he does. I thought he was older because he works so fucking hard. Actually, like a lot of the guys I'm finding out are younger than I thought they were. Like when I found out other Brian just turned 24, I was like, the fuck he did. Granted, it's like I don't really see anybody's faces, you know. Yeah. Also, I think I know who that joke was about. The mask joke and like the pretty eyes. I'm pretty sure I know who it is, but
that's not the girl that was at the bar the other night.
What?
That's not the girl that was at the bar yesterday.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not going to talk about that right now.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not nice to say names on podcasts because people that I work with now listen to this.
Yeah.
Especially because I had Mario on last week or 2 weeks ago.
That's fair. We won't say any names.
Yeah.
Steamworks Anonymous. I did say a name earlier, but whatever. It's fucking Logan. Nobody cares.
Fuck Logan.
Yeah.
No. He tried to fight Max at an open mic.
What?
And he was being like a little playful, but he was also being a little pushy. And I was just like, just so you know, buddy, like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to hurt Max unless he deserves it. Unless he's at a youth baseball game and somebody's dad is tired of seeing him show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Max is like the sweetest. So, yeah. That's part of the reason I've been trying to like get Logan away from the open mics when I see that he's starting to drink a little too much, and I'm just like, here buddy, I'm gonna take you home now, and then I drop him off at his house, and then he can't harass the comics because I brought him home. I'm genius like that.
It's not bad. I still call him a pussy every time he doesn't go on stage.
Fair enough.
Because he talks to me about it every time. He's like, I've been right. And I'm like, fucking show me something. Because when he tries to tell me jokes off stage, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about your joke unless it's in front of people that can judge you.
Yeah, that's one thing that drives me absolutely crazy, especially, I don't know.
Unless it's a homie. If a homie wants to run something by me, sure. But if you just haven't shown any effort yet, no.
Yeah.
You go through the trenches, bitch.
Yeah.
Like
or
everybody.
Like new people, like people who are like, oh, I'm thinking about starting comedy. Like, would you like to hear the entirety of my 5-minute set? And I'm like, no, I don't. Like bring it.
Go on stage.
I do want to like hear it, but not right now.
Only in front of people.
Yeah. I don't want to sit here and have to like pretend that I'm paying attention like while we're at the bar or whatever.
And I like to prep guys. Like they're coworkers that I like. You know what I mean? That's about as far. They're friendly. We're friendly, but we don't really hang out outside of work or anything.
Yeah.
But shit. What was I gonna say? Oh, but Logan, he's not. I don't really know him. You know what I mean? So him trying to run jokes by me before a mic, I'm like, just sign up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and you will have my attention if you're on stage, and I want to see you get judged by everybody, like we all did. I didn't have any friends when I started comedy, not in the group. You know what I mean? You gotta fucking earn people's attention, just like at work. Work hard, try, and then people will fucking start talking to you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what happened with me because I was scared of Aaron. I thought he hated me at first, and now he
just doesn't talk to people until.
Yeah. Well, and now he wants me to wear yoga pants.
Well, and also I was like, don't be super creepy to Emma, like, because he's just a fucking dog at a half. Just
well, I'm used to it. I mean,
yeah, I knew you could, but at the same time, I felt like I had to mention it. Just like, don't be super creepy at first, like.
Yeah, I mean, I can ease into creepiness. I mean, all of my friends are dudes.
Sounds like you did it the right way.
Yeah, the yoga pants thing. It was funny. It was a nice little compliment for me because we all know that I have a big ass, but I like to hear it. Like Christopher would never be like, you have a gigantic ass, and I think I needed that on a daily basis. Like
really? I tell my girl she has a nice ass pretty much daily.
Yeah. Booty rubs are like really, I think, the most important part of a relationship that nobody talks about.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's almost better than a back rub. It's like relaxing, but it's also kind of like
but you
sexually...
want like effort.
No,
not just like touch the booty. You want like a booty rub.
Yeah,
like a massage on the ass.
Yeah.
I get that. My ass gets sore.
Yeah, and also like, I mean, for the other person, it shouldn't be that not fun. Considering I have a sizable, pretty juicy butt. So anyway.
Right, but
not that people on the podcast can tell because I'm sitting, but
I mean, if you want to show me your ass, you're more than welcome to.
I don't think this dress is very flattering for that anyway.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get a presence on YouPorn for ages, at least a year now, but nobody wants to pull out their dick or do something fun, and I can't be the first guy to do it. Like, then it seems like I started this whole platform just to pull my dick out.
That's fair. Well, I'm not going to show my ass today, but.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Despite the fact that I have a date tonight, so I decided to wear the fancy.
So you do have a date?
Yes, I do.
It sounded like the date got canceled earlier.
Well, kind of. So, like, we met on Hinge, and then he came to the El Rancho mic just to, like, check out my set, and he, like, kept his distance, which I actually really appreciated, and, like, waited until he knew I was, like, done doing comedy to, like, come up and introduce himself and say hi, which is, like, you know,
It's very conscientious.
it's a turn on at this point because the amount of
very
dudes that have come
respectful.
to like open mics expecting to be like the sole focus of my attention since I've started doing comedy is absurd. Like, no, this night is not about you. Go fuck yourself. Like, this is one of my jobs, kind of. I get paid for it sometimes.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I had to have like conversations with Kelly and be like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I'm so in my head, like, just don't expect anything before my set. You know? Like after my set, like you can come give me a kiss, say hi, whatever, but don't like if I'm writing, don't just try to introduce me to somebody I don't give a fuck about that I'm never gonna see again, most likely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's happened.
And my thing is too is like I honestly don't want to have to introduce a guy to you guys unless I
That's
know
smart.
about him, you know? Because like, first of all, you're all gonna rip me a new asshole about any guy that I'm with because that's just how you guys are, and I love you for that.
If the opportunity opens, yeah.
I
If
mean,
it happens,
we
it
know what
happens.
my taste in guys looks like, so there's going to be an opportunity. That's just how it is.
I didn't go after Tekashi 6ix9ine you were dating a couple weeks ago. Didn't he have the colorful hair?
Mm-hmm.
He was not as ugly. He was a beautiful looking man.
He looks like Kiefer Sutherland in The Lost Boys, and I'm like into it. He's the one that's
makes
flying
sense.
me out to San Diego.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty excited about
I didn't
that.
make fun of him at all.
Nice. Tor did. He called him Marilyn Manson, which like,
Yeah, but you were gone.
yeah.
So.
But he had to make the point to like bring it up to me the next morning.
Well, he
like,
wrote it.
Yeah.
He actually wrote a joke.
And we were proud of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tor actually did okay that night.
Good
which
for
is
him.
great because I've seen him just like bomb and go way past, and I'm like lighting him, and he's just like just started a story. You know what I mean? And people are like leaving.
Yeah.
It's like Tor, I'm tired. Get off the goddamn stage because he never signs up till like the last comic, and he's like, "Can I go last?"
Yeah.
I guess.
That's fun. That's
you
my
gotta do?
favorite part of doing a mic is when people don't acknowledge that there's a light. Like that kid from a couple weeks ago who did like an 8-minute set, and I was just like flashing the light at him, and it's not necessarily that it was bad,
But
but
you
he
gotta
just
explain it to him usually. Like,
yeah.
it's probably just ignorance.
Yeah, I mean,
But I love it when people are like, "I've never done comedy before. Can I sign up?" I'm like, anywhere you want, buddy. Fucking send it. I want to see what happens. And sometimes they do okay,
Yeah.
but usually it's a goddamn train wreck like my first set.
yep. I don't remember my first set, so that's
I blacked out.
Yep.
I blacked the fuck out. I didn't record it. I was so goddamn in the zone. I only signed up because Kat called me a pussy.
Ah.
Dave's been trying to talk me into it for weeks, and I was sitting over there, and she was like, "You going up?" I had my notebook, like, you know, I was writing, I was trying, but I just wasn't confident enough because I didn't feel like I deserved to go on at Laugh Therapy because I saw it and everybody murdered, and I was like,
Yeah.
if I eat shit there, like, fuck, kill myself. But I could accept eating shit at the ranch because most people did. You know, even Elliot, like,
Yeah.
and Josh and Jacob, like, I've seen them have terrible sets at the ranch.
Yeah.
The first
Oh,
time they
same.
came home, I did well at Laugh Therapy, but they didn't see that. But they were at the ranch already, and I went over and I had the ranch dialed in. I had cocaine jokes just fucking at the hip, you
I
know what I mean?
remember
I was
that.
coming in hot, and they did, like, I think Josh did pretty good. Jacob might have done like a mediocre,
That
and
was
Elliot
the night
did
that
not
he
do
hosted,
good.
right?
Jacob,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was the night I got so mad at him because he called me Emma Scribe when he introduced me on stage, even though my name was on the list as Emma Z, and I was just like,
But it's just because people are Facebook friends with you. And
yeah, that's why I changed it.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah, because I was like, it's not
Yeah.
Scribe.
Because
it's...
people just come from what's at memory. They just saw Emma, you know, or
Yeah.
he did, and he was just trying to introduce you properly with a full name.
Yeah.
That's all, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, that was years ago, and I'm
Right.
over it now, but, you know.
Yeah, but the point of the story, I did good at the ranch because I was warmed up for the ranch.
Yeah.
And also I knew they were coming back, and I was like, I have to fucking crush to show these boys that just because they moved, you know, doesn't
Yeah.
mean we're not all getting better.
Yeah.
And now they sponsor the podcast. But yeah, I did well, and it felt good for them to like acknowledge that.
Yeah.
'Cause they're all just like, God damn, dude.
Yeah.
For
That's
the
how I
ranch.
felt doing a show with them, you know,
I know.
because like they were all
The homecoming show.
yeah, they were all getting ready to leave when I started doing comedy. Like Jacob left I think first, and then it was a small trickle of the boys, and
Yeah.
then they all ended up in Denver. But you know, like they were all present for my first blackout set ever. So it was like really cool to go from, hey, like I was just starting a couple of months ago to now I'm on.
Just a drunk chick on stage to fucking an aspiring comedian.
Yeah. And now I'm the sober chick on stage.
6 months.
6 months.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it's been tough, you know, but also not at the same time.
Yeah, the weed helps.
Weed helps a lot.
Like Bill Withers, you can lean on it.
Yeah. And thankfully, like, I just started seeing this new therapist who's like a drug and alcohol specialist, and I'm like, hey, so I smoke weed. Is that gonna be an issue? And she's like, no. So
This is Durango, honey.
yeah, it's
Seems
Colorado.
fine.
She's
Yeah.
like, if you feel weird about it, then we can explore that. But a lot of people get sober and smoke weed. And I'm like, cool, because some people get really judgy.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh, you're not really sober if you're like smoking weed. And I'm like, well, you know, if I smoke a joint and then ruin my life that night, I'll probably stop smoking weed. But until that happens, like, I'm chilling, you know?
Usually you're like, I'm sleepy. I'm
Yeah.
not going to go out.
Yeah. Or like if I, you know, smoke a bowl like at the bar, I'm usually like, oh, I'm around too many people now. I feel like uncomfortable. I'm going to go home, put on my fuzzy pants and play some Witcher 3.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the worst that's going to happen. I'm going to eat too many cookies and pass the fuck out. Like, oh no. You know, but when I was drinking, you know, you saw I was a fucking mess, and
Unpredictable,
yeah,
to say the least.
yeah, no, and I knew that it was like that. Like it was like
You were unpredictable to yourself as well.
yeah, no, I often called it like playing Russian roulette with myself because I didn't really know what version of drunk me was going to come out when I drank, because I could go into drinking in a totally great mood and out would come sad, drunk, suicidal Emma, you know, and you're like, wait, where did that come from? We were having a good day, you know. But sometimes you would get like super slutty, won't leave it alone, horny Emma, which was somehow worse, you know, because it's like I just wouldn't take no for an answer, you know. People were like, no, I'm not interested. And I would be like, are you sure? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, no, you're full. Anyway.
I feel like as a girl, that's less of a negative thing than a guy that does that, you know.
Yeah.
That crosses lines real fast.
Yeah.
But like a small girl, nobody's like, she's raping me, you know. What
Yeah.
I mean?
I don't know. I feel like I've probably creeped people out at the very least. Like, I feel like I give some creepy vibes to some of the dudes that work like expo and front of house at work, because I've been like giving them the fuck me eyes, but I'm like, also I kind of look like a dude in my uniform, you know, like. So
I've given them all the fuck me ass. Don't even worry about it. When I need motherfucking to go ramekins, I'll do whatever it takes. You know,
there
I'm trying to clear shit off the screen. That's all I care about. Who do I gotta blow to get some motherfucking to go ramekin lids? You know?
Yeah.
I've been there. It's not pretty, but
You've
12
blown,
hours in on a double.
You've blown someone
I've
for ramekin.
considered it.
Oh, okay.
Considered it.
That's fair.
Just Robert, because he's got nice eyes.
He does have nice eyes.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. I'm just really happy that I don't really like have any physical attractions to any of the guys in the kitchen.
Good.
Yeah, it's like
Don't fuck anybody in the kitchen.
No.
It's a terrible idea.
Yeah,
But
no, thank you.
savages. Every one of them.
This is fair.
Yeah.
Also, like, I've learned my lesson from like sleeping with coworkers in the past. Like, it kind of worked with Christopher because we started dating immediately, but also it kind of didn't because I fucking hated Christopher at work and I loved him at home, and it was really like hard sometimes to like differentiate.
People need space.
Yeah. Well, like, work Christopher, because we were dating, but he was also technically my boss.
It's
like,
harder on you.
oh god, he was such a shithead
In
to
front
me.
of people.
Oh yeah, all the time, and
Yeah.
just like, you know, Emma, this isn't good enough, and Emma, you need to do this better, and meh. And I was just like, I'm gonna fucking hate you. And then we'd go home, and he'd be like, hey, and I'm like, no, I'm still mad at you from you being a shithead boss earlier today. Like, I can't just turn it off, you know.
Oh.
But
If you're gonna bang somebody, do it with somebody below you.
yes,
And I really don't recommend that.
actually,
They're not gonna work there very long.
I don't like being on top, though, if we're being honest. I do until I don't, and then I'm like, okay, don't make me do this anymore.
Yeah, but if you're alpha in the relationship, you call the shots.
This
Every
is true.
time we start to have sex, my girlfriend's like, where do you want me? And I'm like, you tell me where you want me, because I'm going to have a good time either way.
Yeah.
Like, are you into something right now? Because I
Yeah.
could give a shit less, honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
Every once in a while, I'm like real horny, and then I'm like, okay, this is what's going down.
Yeah.
But I'm getting older.
Yeah, well, that's the nice thing about relationships. And, like, after a point, you stop being like, oh, okay, I am putting in all of the stops. Because you're like, I've gotten to a place where this person has decided that they want to have sex with me on a consistent basis. So I don't have to put in as much effort as I did in the beginning to get them to, like, stay attracted to me. So then you can have, like, my favorite sex, which is spooning sex. And you're, like, casually kind of watching Netflix
4
at the
times
same
a
time.
week. 4
Yeah.
times a week.
Yeah. Oh, first thing in the morning, you wake up, you're like, I'm not, like, I'm horny, but I'm...
4 times a week.
Yeah. It's just
And there's no Netflix involved because I will get distracted.
fair enough. But yeah, no, spooning sex is my favorite, but you don't get that when you're dating, you know? Like, when you're, like,
We had it
dating
pretty
around...
early,
Yeah.
But it was morning sex. Like
Yeah.
when everybody's lazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's...
Like, and then it just kind of became the, you lazy? Me too. You know?
Yeah. God, it is really my favorite form of sex. I usually don't come as hard through it, but, like, dude, it just gets the job done, and nobody's really exerting that much effort, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's what we're going to call this episode, Spooning Sex with Emma Z.
Perfect.
Are you into it?
Yeah,
All right.
I'm down.
Fuck yeah. Finally. A reason to hit the goddamn hype button.
I know. We've just been having, like, a chill conversation this whole time, which is fine.
I'm
'cause
evolving. I'm having more and more adult conversations where I'm less like, and a dick? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there was definitely a period in my podcasting where I was just like,
let's be raunchy and crazy.
well, I just wanted laughs, man.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be entertaining and fun, but now I realize that having a conversation is fine. Oh yeah, you got a cherry seed?
Yeah, right on the podcast. That was lovely.
# Sonic.
Thank you, Sonic. God, they fuck up my shit every time. It's fine.
Oh, it's weird you keep giving them money.
I know. It's just right there, and because of my stomach issues, like, not much in the way of food ever sounds appealing to me. But something about, like, one of those shitty Sonic grilled cheeses with, like, a little bit of bacon just sounds, like,
You know, you
edible.
can make that at work.
Yeah, I know. But my thing with, like, work shift meals is, like, I want to get as much out of it as I possibly can. So why would I make myself something that's worth, like, $4 when I can get $18
You could probably
worth
make
of food?
2 of them.
Yeah.
Or 3, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can benefit yourself through the financial allowance of your shift meal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I usually just get a meal. I definitely never take my full worth of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stop now because of Trevin. So, but update on the sabotage pizza. I don't know if I told you, like,
You made a sabotage pizza.
yes.
Very
so,
spicy.
Yeah. It had habanero instead of marinara. Finely diced fresh jalapenos underneath the cheese, as well as green chilies. And so anyway, I made it incredibly spicy and, like, hid all of this under the cheese and made it look like just a normal pepperoni pizza with a little bit of sausage.
Right.
Brought it home yesterday. I made half of it, like, normal so that I could eat food. And he, like, got a slice and he was eating it normally, and I was so disappointed. He was like, wow, this is really good. Thanks, Emma. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then I realized that he got an olive piece, but apparently last night Jadrian heard it. He heard Trevin go in and, like, open up the box, and he was like, oh God, and ran into his bathroom and apparently proceeded to throw up. So, hopefully the lesson will be learned that don't eat the entirety of my fucking shift meal, you stupid piece of shit.
That's a lesson to all roommates out there.
Yeah.
Never take the last beer. Don't eat. If you're going to eat somebody's food, never eat the last of it. That's just goddamn rude.
And
People rely on that food and beer.
yeah, especially somebody's shift meal. You know, like, I worked my ass off in a hot ass kitchen for 6 hours to, like, take that home. You sat in your cushy air conditioned fucking office job teaching old people how to work their email today. Like, who do you think deserves this pizza more, really, at the end of the day? And
Well,
then
whoever brought it home deserves it more.
Yeah.
That's just common respect and manners and whatnot.
You would
I don't
think.
eat my girlfriend's shit. Not the last of it.
Yeah.
Even if she made it for us, I'd text her like, "Hey, can I kill this, or were you planning on eating this?"
Yeah.
You
Like
know?
a fucking gentleman and an adult. That's how you do that.
Because she doesn't get mad at me, she just gets sad. And it is so much worse.
Yeah.
I would so much rather her be mad at me.
Oh, I was pissed off and sad at the same time because
Yeah.
I came out and saw that my pizza was gone, and I'd only had one teeny tiny slice that I literally just like inhaled before my therapy appointment, and then came back and decided to eat, and it was just gone. And we did the math too. Trevin had 4 fucking slices of that pizza. Jason had 2. Jay had 1. I had 1. So yeah.
Maybe we'll call this roommate problems. Spooning sex was fun.
I like spooning sex better.
Yeah. Let's change the topic off roommates.
Yeah, roommates are the worst, but actually no. They're not, because I found my best friend through being
Your
roommates.
best homeless friend.
Well, he's not homeless.
Previously homeless.
I'm previously
When I
homeless
met
too,
Jay
though.
Drain, he was homeless.
Yes.
And I liked him either way.
Yeah. I
also
didn't
felt
like
like
Jay
he
Drain
needed
at first.
friends.
I thought Jay Drain was so fucking creepy at first.
I felt like he needed friends.
Yeah, I remember the day that me and Jadrian really connected, and we went. It was during the Four Corners Comedy Festival, and it was the last day. There was that comedy brunch at Down the Rabbit Hole,
Mm-hmm.
and then afterwards, me and Jay were standing out there with Colin, fucking what's his name? I'm friends with him on Facebook. Anyway. We were out there with a couple of the out of town comics, and we were just bullshitting and yes-anding each other and whatever. And then Jay was like, "Man, I'm fucking hungry, and I kind of want to drink. Do you want to go get some food with me?" And I was like, "Bitch, I am broke. I just spent the entire weekend spending all of my money drinking at the bars and getting fucked up with comedians." And he's
Right.
like, "Oh, I'll buy you lunch." And so I'm never one to pass up free food ever. That's why I went on a date. I stayed on a date that I got catfished. Anyway.
That's why?
Just
Because you were hungry?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Also, I wanted to give the guy a chance, but anyway. So
It sounds like it was more the hungry thing.
yeah, well, okay, I thought
You were going to give him a chance if he bought you food.
I saw him, and I was like, "Oh, you look nothing like your photos." And I was like, "But
Been
we've had
there.
good conversation through text, so I'll give it a chance, and we'll have the food and see." And he was just really creepy through the whole thing, so no.
But you stayed for the food.
I did stay for the food, yeah. And they weren't even that
Seems
good of
fair.
tacos,
Bummer.
Yeah. Taco
Hate it like
Libre,
that.
not as great as everybody keeps telling me.
I've never
It
been
is.
there.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's where that other Mexican place was with all the fancy glass art, and why do I always forget
Cantera?
Yeah, Cantera. So it's
Yeah, I went there once and I was like, yeah, I'm good.
yeah. I went there once.
The atmosphere was dope.
No, it was
Sick art. But the food was always disappointing.
and it was expensive.
And I think the first time I went there was with my came from nothing grandparents, you know what I mean? And they're doing fine now, but the value of $1 is a real thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I tip people like money doesn't exist. I don't know why. It's just in my blood. I was a waiter.
Oh, I get it.
An extra $2 off or from $2 up from 20% or whatever. You know what I mean? That feels great when you're a waiter. Or I guess service industry is 30%, but I tip well. That's the point.
Yeah.
And part of it's because I want good service when I come back to this establishment. Like Angie at the Rancho, I tip her so fat.
Yeah.
So fat.
I mean, I tip her for drinks that don't even cost money, so.
But this isn't how things work in my grandparents' mind, you know? And the first time I went there, they were going there to try it, and it was expensive and, not as much food as they were expecting and a little
yeah.
too fancy. They're trying too hard to, almost to the point where you're fucking up a perfectly good meal because you want it to have all the colors and all the...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's something I've noticed working in a restaurant. It's shit that you don't really need on there is on there for the color.
Yeah.
Because it looks pretty.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I mean, when we
And
played
who doesn't like tomatoes? You know what I mean? Whatever.
I don't like tomatoes.
Ah,
I hate them.
well, that's
yes.
one of the main colors.
I know. I wish that I liked tomatoes because when I'm like handling them and like dealing with them, I'm like,
They
they're
look
pretty.
pretty.
They
Yeah.
look, I mean, red's my favorite color.
Mm.
They look like they should be appetizing, but then the taste of raw tomato gets into my mouth and it triggers my gag reflex like nothing else in my life has.
Weird.
Dick, no problem. Tomatoes, instant vomit. Like, why? I don't know.
What's that? 45 minutes. That's the Instagram clip right there. That was awesome. That's weird. My biggest thing, I can't eat dairy. You know what I mean? I can make a dank ass cream sauce, but I can't have it. I just have Mitch and Mario taste it. Like,
Yeah.
if I like when I first started saute, I was like, just taste this, please. Just tell me if it's like balanced, you know?
Yeah.
And the first note was salt and pepper, and I was like, word. And now they're like, that's perfect, man.
So what happens like if you get just the tiniest bit of dairy? I was wanting to ask you this yesterday, and then we got like, tickets. So I didn't get.
Yeah,
the
when
chance.
shit comes on the screen at work, I am fucking.
Yeah.
I'm back to work.
Yeah.
For sure.
No,
and
I mean,
everybody is. That's how you run a kitchen.
Yeah.
It's
Which
interesting.
I like.
Like we talk mad shit until something comes in,
And then we all just kind of focus.
and you
in
can
on our
yell
shit.
talking shit sometimes, which is fun.
Yeah.
Especially-
I honestly love the line dance parties the most. That's one thing we didn't get to do at Grassburger because it was an open kitchen. So the music that we listened to at work was the music that was on the speakers that sucked ass.
That's where
and-
we're at now. You know that, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But sometimes you get a banger,
Yeah.
and
well,
it makes
and also
it all the
like
more
in
special.
the mornings, the music's usually not on overhead. So
Right. We can pick the music for the first 2 hours of work.
yeah, which
Yeah,
is nice.
for sure. But if I get a little bit of dairy, I just wake up at like 3 a.m. with like stomach cramps. I wish I had just like had to shit, but I have to suffer for like 5 hours, and then I have not a pleasant shit.
Ugh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I
So
wish
it's
it just
like-
hit me and I had to shit, because then it would be over. But it's
Yeah.
not. It's fucking awful.
Yeah.
For hours and hours. Like when I ate enchiladas on Christmas, I ate 2 of the dairy enzymes, and I was like, this should cover me. But my mom made enchiladas for Christmas. I went and saw my mom. She made a New Mexican dish. Like it was fucking my childhood, you know?
Yeah, you had to.
And I tried the red and the green,
Of course.
obviously. And destroyed. Destroyed. I had to drive back from Phoenix the next day.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fucked up through the res on the weekend, so the res is closed down on the weekend. There's not a bathroom for 4.5 hours.
Did
I
you
took
just
a
shit-
shit in Cortez that would fucking offend a sewer rat. It was god awful. The bathroom wasn't nice, so I didn't feel bad.
I don't know. I had this image of you for a second just like pulling over on the side of the road and just shitting in a bush.
The reason, so I was in discomfort most of the time. Like I said, I have to suffer before the shit.
Yeah.
It's not good. But my girlfriend had to pee like an hour into the res, you know what I mean? And there's not a goddamn tree in sight. And 10, 15 feet off the highway is reservation land. Like there's the highway easement and then reservation, and you can't go on that land, especially during lockdown.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, babe. I mean, we can make something happen. If you really need to pee, I'll find a spot like that I think we can get away with, because I grew up on the res. I know how to get away with taking a piss, like as long as we're quick. But there was a lot of cops
Yeah.
the whole way, but we made it to Cortez, long story short, and I destroyed this bathroom. And then I bought a 6-pack and put Kelly in the driver's seat.
You're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done for today.
Well, the whole way, dude, I was just like,
Yeah. That sounds fucking miserable.
just crampy in the guts. Not good.
I know how that goes. Yeah.
See that fresh burn you got there?
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Pizza oven?
Yep.
Yeah.
It would be nice if when people are coming like behind me when I'm doing stuff in the pizza oven,
It'd
if
say
they actually
behind.
said behind. Yeah. Because then, that one specific kid, doesn't say anything.
I know.
When he's going
I've
corner?
almost hit him with a hot pan 100 times.
Yeah. But then he'll get all passive aggressive and shitty when you're the one who got burnt in the process. And I'm like, it's your fault that I just got burnt because I was trying to swing a pizza and you were right fucking behind me. So to make up for that, I stepped forward and knocked my arm into the pizza oven because I didn't want to fuck. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. No, I get it. I burned myself on the oven yesterday, and it was nobody's fault but mine.
Yeah, most of my burns are nobody's fault but mine, but this one is little shits. So, because my right arm is covered in burns and shit and whatever.
I do know.
Yeah.
It's fucking... Yeah, I got my tattoo on a burn. She was like, is that a bruise? But it was just a burn scar.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking send it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to love her.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. I actually have 2 tattoo appointments in the next couple months. I'm getting my leg piece finished on the 13th, and then I'm getting matching tattoos with my mom, and I'm going to San Diego, and things are looking up for Emma Z.
What's the timing on the tattoos to San Diego?
So
4 weeks at least?
So let's see, I'm getting my leg finished up April 13th, and then I'm leaving for San Diego May 1st.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm going to see if hopefully I
can sit in a pool.
Maybe not the ocean then, but I don't know. I'm hoping. I at least want to go to, I'm going to go to the beach, you know, that's a given. And I have a couple friends there that I'm going to go visit, but I also feel like I'm probably just going to be holed up in this dude's mansion having sex for at least the first 2 days.
You'll be sex ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, this leg piece fucking hurts. It's big. It takes up my entire right thigh. So
are you just getting work on it, or are you getting it finished?
I'm getting it finished finally. So
how many hours?
So far we've probably
how many hours left?
4 to 5.
Okay. That's gonna be a hell of a wound.
Yeah.
2 weeks though.
Yeah.
Get that wrap shit on there.
Really, it's the actual work that still needs to be done is probably anything for when it comes to fresh work that needs to be done, it's probably an hour, maybe 2. But then there's certain spots that didn't heal quite right because I recently found out that my skin does not like tattoo ink. It tries
Weird, you're so white.
I know.
You think it would work?
Yeah, certain tattoos have just given me a really hard time. This one.
It's a lot of red.
Yeah, a lot of it rejected. It's been touched up. More of it rejected. This little spot here, I think, is just always going to be that way.
Warcraft? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I know nothing about it.
That's fine. You don't have to.
Okay.
At least it looks cool, you know.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I like red.
Yeah, me too. That's my favorite color.
Me too, bro.
You're a Leo, right?
Cancer. Crabs are red.
Okay.
I'm very emotional.
Okay. No, that just it makes sense, but I don't know why I never knew that you were a Cancer.
Because I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't announce it. It's definitely not how I introduce myself.
Hi, I'm Brian Nystrom, and I'm a Cancer.
Red flag. I should start doing that to girls that are trying to hit on me.
Oh, there you go.
That would be great, actually. Because I want nothing to do with anybody other than my girlfriend. If you want to be my friend,
it's the most wholesome fucking shit ever.
If you want to be my friend, sure. But I'm not even gonna entertain the idea of possibly sleeping with somebody else. It's just not happening, bro. It's not happening. And yeah, I need a deterrent because sometimes girls are a little fucking handsy and a little.
Oh, I've noticed.
There's been a few waitresses that kind of came at me, and I'm just and I don't know them, so they don't know I have a girlfriend. You know what I mean? They don't know me from comedy. They just know me from work. So it's totally reasonable. But I just got to be yeah, I have a girlfriend, and I love her. I'm super wholesome when it comes to that.
I know. I was just thinking about the fact that, if there's 2 people who really do make me believe that men are capable of love, it is you and it is Dave fucking Oakley, man. Because, the way you guys talk about your women just, gives me faith in humanity again a little bit, because I have not a great track record with dating, as we've talked about in previous podcasts, and,
Right.
You can just tell by looking at me, I think, at this point. So, when I see, dudes out there who are just my lady's everything, it, inspires me. And I'm okay, maybe I'm not going to be, pathetically alone for the rest of my life.
And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's everything. But that part of my life is just,
yeah.
It's a check. Sexual needs, attraction, fucking check. You know? I don't need to readdress it. You know? I maintain. But... I'm not looking for anything new there. That's all. Even in my last relationship, 5 years, the last couple were rough, man. But I couldn't cheat on her. I'm just that dude.
Yeah.
It's just rude. fucking end the relationship if you feel that strongly about it, you know?
Yeah. The only times I've cheated in relationships was when I had already been cheated on.
That's different.
Yeah. And so I was like just trying to find a means out of the relationship, and that was kind of my way of doing it. Because, you know, in all of those situations, I would cheat, and then like within a week, the relationship would be over.
Yeah.
You know, so that was
It was your fucking self-destruct button.
Yeah, that was like, okay, well, now that I've slept with this guy, I can't keep sleeping with this guy who sucks. So, you know, it was kind of like finding a rebound beforehand, so it was easier to get out of the relationship.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's very passive-aggressive.
It's really fucked up. I mean, this was like, you know, with my earlier relationships, like with the, you know, the second fiance and like a high school boyfriend, you know, when I was younger.
You seem to have grown.
Yeah. You know, I'm like, I mean, I never cheated on Christopher. Like, we were very, you know, copacetic when we were together. But,
Right.
you know, I've also been cheated on too many times to, like, want to do that to a person, you know.
No, just end it.
Yeah.
Just fucking end it. If you want to do it that bad, like,
Yeah.
even a text, just acknowledge that it's over
Yeah.
before.
Well,
because then you're doing something sneaky and sneaky shit. Like, in my old age, I lie on stage all the time.
Yeah.
And I will lie to get a laugh if it's in like a joke form, you know, in the kitchen or whatever. Like, but in real life, like, just be honest.
oh
man.
yeah.
Just
I
honest.
mean, that's my biggest thing, and that's, you know, like, people call me a lot because I don't want to talk about lame bullshit that everybody talks about, you know. I'm like, let's be honest and open about like our life experiences, because we're human beings, and like, I want to know about who you are as a person while we're sharing time on this earth together, you
And
know.
you
I
never
don't
know when you're gonna learn something
Yeah,
from
exactly. And
somebody
so
else's experiences.
I'd rather have like an honest, open communication and find out, you know, about all of your trauma than talk about the fucking weather again, you know?
Right.
And so,
Dude, I was listening to a podcast while I was washing my motorcycle, and they started talking about organ donors and how like the majority of organ donors are motorcycle riders. And they just started talking about like statistics around motorcycles, and I was like warming it up. You know what I mean? But I'm listening to this in my headphones. I was like, God damn it, is this a bad idea?
speaking of bad ideas, I need your advice on something about this date. So, like, the plan was that he was going to make a reservation for us to go and get sushi somewhere. And I was like, okay, like, that sounds
Pop.
good.
Go to Pop.
Yeah. But then he didn't make a reservation. He's like, everything's booked. So one of the first things that he sends me today, he's like, hey, so how would you feel about doing a double date? And I'm like, I mean, not really, because, you know, I don't want to have to get to know 3 new people. Like, it's already awkward enough going on a first date with somebody that you met off the fucking internet. You know, I don't think adding extra people to the equation is going to make it better. And it made me realize, like, either he's super nervous or he's one of those people who just can't do anything without his friends around, which I can't.
Or his friends have a reservation.
Oh, that could be it.
That sounds like the most logical reason to me.
Oh, look at that. See, this is why I need guy friends in my life, and I have many. But then he was like, actually, like, you know, so everything's booked up. How would you feel about just, like, me cooking for you at my place? And I was like, you know, like, just because I met you briefly doesn't... I mean, he doesn't look like a murderer.
First date at your place it's a little aggressive. And that's coming from me who lives way out here.
Yeah.
Like, when I was single, I was surprised when girls would, like, get in my truck. And I'm like, just so you know, it's, like, a little out of town. Like, I don't want you to freak out. Like, it's,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm not, like, on the grid. Like, it's a little bit of a drive.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to get to know each other better on the drive home.
Yeah, there's a dirt road involved. Like, just so
With
you
no
know.
lights.
Yeah.
Nada.
Yeah.
So I was always surprised when girls were like, well, and that I just met. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But I guess I don't give off, like, creepy vibes either.
Yeah.
Or maybe. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's weird because it's like now that like, before I never cared about this kind of shit. Like, I would be like, oh, I'm going over to this guy's house.
Before you were sober.
Yeah, but now that I'm sober, I'm so much more cautious. Like, I get weird about, like, night shifts and, like, walking back to my car alone. Like, and I'm like, I never cared. I used to, like, walk around downtown, like, by myself at 2 a.m., no problem,
That's
with
the
my
part
headphones
we
in.
were all worried about. Just so you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I never got kidnapped or murdered, so that's good.
I think your attire might send off some like might fuck you up red flags?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a little.
Is that
bit.
the reason for the attire?
No, it's just like the aesthetic that I like. You know, I mean, I've always been drawn to like darker clothes since I was a kid. You know, and like
All my shirts are black or red.
yeah, all of my clothes are black or red. Yeah.
Yeah.
I incorporate some green. You know, like Slytherin green, kind of.
I got some green.
I'll buy like items of clothing that match my hair color at any given point when I'm out thrifting, and I'll be like, oh, my hair's blue right now, so I'll buy a blue dress and it gets in there, but I never actually wear it, you know? So yeah, but I've always been pretty gothy. Like recently I've been going back and like rewatching old movies that I really loved as a kid and just like learning shit about myself, you know? Like for example, all of my favorite scenes from movies like all had to do with food. Anytime I'm watching like a movie that is a kid's movie and I'm like, oh, this was my favorite scene, they all like revolve around food, and I don't know what that is. That's probably something to get into with my therapist, but like whatever. Or like, you know, it's like all of my favorite characters in these movies have always been the villains because they're big and they're boisterous and they have these cool clothes and great attitudes and they get the best one-liners.
They always
you know,
cooler.
they just do.
Wearing purple and shit.
Yeah, like
Dark red, like
yeah.
Jafar.
Yeah.
Look, flies fuck,
neon
dog.
green and shit. Like they get the cool colors. There's
Right.
always some black involved. They get the great one-liners and they're just like
It's true.
they're a presence. You know what I
But they
mean? Like
lose.
that's true, but that's why like I take the aesthetic of the villain, but I'm a decent person. I would like
I
to
think so.
believe.
You're a nice person.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't be here if you weren't. Like, if
Yeah.
I didn't like you, you wouldn't be here. You know what I mean?
That's
So,
fair. I mean, I can be a dick sometimes, but like
Yeah.
I have a good heart.
I'm not good at explaining to people why I like them. Like,
Yeah.
my girlfriend is like, do you even like me? I'm like, you're my girlfriend that lives with me.
Yeah.
And she's like, what does that mean? Like, well, that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I fucking love you. Like, God damn it. Just be happy.
Yeah. I think that's just a guy thing though. You
Yeah.
know, like girls like to get into the specifics and the details of stuff.
Oh, I hate detail. Until the threesome comes around and then you're out there with a fucking notebook like, this is how it's going to go down. That's never going to happen. My girlfriend has no interest in chicks. Sorry, bro.
I know. You apologize every time you're like, Kelly's very straight. And I'm like, I know. It's
I know.
okay. It's my problem because as somebody who's attracted to women, I have a very specific type of woman, and that it's like bona fide bad bitch. And I like really feminine, pretty women, which means like 90% of them are straight.
Right.
Yeah. So like,
No,
like for example,
I've
like
went hard at some lesbians before.
that fucking adorable little blonde in the front of house, like huge crush on her. The one we see every day. You know who I'm talking
Lacey?
about. Yeah.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Everybody.
Stunning. Huge
Yeah.
crush on her. And I'm like, I know she is 100% very fucking straight. You know, so
From what I hear, her boyfriend looks very similar to her. They're just like,
that always creeps me out
Pretty
so
people.
much. Oh. I thought you
I don't
were more
know.
like
I haven't seen him. I don't know if it's creepy or not.
okay, because the couples that look like siblings always freak me out, but they're also the ones that end up like staying together the longest, and it's weird.
They know what the other one's going through. Kelly doesn't have big ears, fucking giant Adam's apple. You know, she doesn't know my struggle.
Yeah.
We have to relate on other struggles.
Yeah,
I don't
'cause-
understand what it's like to be a pale ginge.
A stunning, gorgeous, pale ginger. Yeah, that must be a hard life.
Well, it is in the summer when she goes out in the sun.
Oh yeah.
You know how many hats I've bought her? Multiple.
Oh, and she was a youth during like that time of the South Park episodes where Cartman was really against gingers, so she probably got bullied a little bit in middle school.
Yeah, in Kansas.
Oh. I didn't know she was from Kansas.
She's from Kansas.
I just instantly got the image of her as like Dorothy from Wizard of Oz, and
I've made this connection many times, especially when we were on mushrooms and it got windy, and I was like, "Come here, fucking, you're not going anywhere, goddammit."
That actually, okay, now I want to ask, how do you feel about sex on hallucinogens? Because this is a topic that I've been discussing
Usually,
lately.
like coming down is the only time that I can like feasibly do it, because
Okay.
I'm usually like on the ride up, you're just so fucking consumed with what's happening in your mind.
Yeah.
And in the peak, it's like, man, just go sit outside and look at the goddamn trees. It's gorgeous. Like,
Yeah.
you know. And then coming down, it's usually getting dark too. It like works out.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, you can do anything from watch a cartoon movie, about time travel to sex or both.
Yeah.
Which is usually where I go. Stevie Nicks, always a good choice when you're coming down.
Noted.
Yeah.
I'm very much like a
Love
put
that witchy
on
bitch.
some kind of like Disney movie. I really like animated shit when I'm coming down.
Do you know the one with the dog and the little boy and they're time travelers? That's like Sherman and
Peabody
maybe?
Peabody and Sherman. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
There's a newer movie that, well, it's probably like 8 years old now, whatever.
Yeah.
But one day, my ex at the time that I lived with, she was out of town, and my roommates were both out of town. I had the house to myself for this very brief moment that never happened. So I took 4.5 grams of mushrooms, turned on Spangle at full blast. I had 5
Nice.
dogs in the house. I locked all the doors and just sat in that shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then coming down, I just wanted something silly. I watched Peabody and Sherman. It was an adventure and a half.
That sounds fantastic.
I might as well have gone to a music festival with the amount of fun I had. It was so good. It was so good.
Honestly, I need one of those. Like, people have been bringing up acid to me a lot lately, and I have this rule for myself. I've had it since I started taking drugs, where, especially with hallucinogens, I won't take them or ever seek them out unless they find their way to me. Because
One of those.
yeah, I just feel like it's meant to be
for a long time.
If
No, I'm
it's
an
like that.
opportunist.
You know, but the thing is like people keep saying like, oh, I've got acid, or oh, we're gonna take some acid, or like, you know, it just like it's trying to find its way to me. So I think it's finally time. But
Yeah, we got some new employees. Say that.
huh?
Yeah, it's coming up at work.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard it as well.
Yes. Anyway, so yes, it's been coming up a lot, and I'm like, well, maybe it's time, but I don't really want to trip with other people because I just feel like that was why I had such a bad trip the last time. I took mushrooms at a house party and it was bad.
That's the worst idea I've ever heard of.
Yeah, well, it was on my relapse day. We started talking about this at the last podcast, but I have never actually got to like the real story, but I had like a relapse day in October because I had like finished up Sober October and I was like having a shit day and I went to go do Kat's makeup for Halloween. And
she offered you a drink because October was over.
Yeah, and so I took it, and then I got like emotional, and I
Immediately?
went. Well, not immediately, no. Like I was, you know, buzzy and whatever, and then I went home, put on my costume, and then went to this house party that my coworker was throwing. I like took a ride with some coworkers, and then when I got there, one of my favorite coworkers was like, "Oh, hey, I have some mushrooms," and I was like, "Sure, why not?" Not really thinking about like the fact that I'd been having a shitty day or that I was at a house party. And so when they first started kicking in, like I was just crying a lot because it felt good. But then Christopher walked into the party, saw me, turned in the opposite direction and just like walked away and like proceeded
Not my problem.
Yeah, he just ignored me the entire night. So that's when my trip like went bad, and then I had like a 17-year-old like taking care of me in the bathroom because I was having a bad time. And
17-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was cared for by many girls that night and actually made some good friends out of it because
you did.
You know,
because you were just an emotional mess.
Yeah, I was just bawling my eyes out. Apparently at one point I was like bitching because the walls were like a pastel pattern and I was like, I fucking hate pastels. This is bullshit. Like, so apparently even when I'm tripping my balls off, I'm still very goth because I was mad about the pastel colors on the walls.
Yeah, lesson. And unfortunately, this is how you have to learn this lesson a lot of times, is to do drugs in the wrong set and setting. And you pay the goddamn consequences because you buy the ticket, you take the ride. There's no getting off.
Yeah.
There's no fucking snap back. You're gone. You're fucked.
Well, it solidified things for me though, you know, because I could have just gone back to drinking after October was over, but then after that
might have
night,
been perfect. Might have been perfect.
Yeah, well, it's weird because after that, like now when I watch people like take a shot or if I smell booze, like I get physically nauseous. And so that's been great for me because, you know, how can you relapse if literally like the smell of the beer brewing in the morning like makes you want to puke, you know? So
Love it.
I
walk in, I'm like,
well, actually, there's one beer that when they're brewing it, it smells like fucking weed brownies. And I come in and I'm just like, oh my God, it smells like there are weed brownies baking in here. And it's like my favorite smell. But there was one that was brewing the other day. I think they were doing the Conductor and it just smelled like heavy IPA. And I was like, right under the vent. I was just like, no. no. So it's probably a good thing, but I think the mushrooms did do that for me a little bit.
Good for you.
Yeah, they also helped me realize that Christopher was a shitty boyfriend, you know?
Yeah.
If he didn't, he didn't acknowledge me at all that night, so I got taken home by a coworker, and
Gross.
yeah.
Yeah, my ex, right before we broke up, it was her birthday. And it's kind of the reason I hadn't broken up with her before, because I told her, 6 months earlier we would go do this thing. So we went to the hot springs and got a super nice room and all that jazz. Did the whole thing. Did mushrooms at the hot spring. And we're just alone, It's like midnight. We're on mushrooms in these hot springs. And we're like talking about like our futures and like hopes and dreams. And I just realized that she didn't really have a lot of like...
drive.
Yeah, she didn't really have goals.
Yeah.
Her goals were like, yeah, you're gonna fucking do something. I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be great. And I was like, that's your whole plan?
Yeah.
Like, that's not inspiring. Like,
right?
I have to be like a little bit fucking inspired by you or infatuated. There's gotta be
like,
something that I'm like, wow. But there was just nada. And but I was on mushrooms with her in another place. Like,
yeah.
I had fucking had to ride that out. But sitting under a waterfall, hearing her tell me she had no dreams, I was just like, oh, this is over.
Yep.
But I was just tripping my face off, and I couldn't like say that because I didn't want. It would have been way worse.
Yeah.
So I just had to like. But I got that experience. I got that drug experience where I knew how to just like push that down.
Yeah. No, I've been in that place a couple of times. My first mushroom trip ever, actually, it was, it was in high school, and I was dating this guy at the time who was like cheating on me constantly. But, what can you do?
He was hot.
He was hot. He was like tall, beautiful, curly
sounds hot.
hair, guitar player,
Got a dick on him too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I was dating this guy, and I had taken mushrooms with my best friend at the time and her boyfriend. And we're starting to come up, and then my boyfriend like is trying to find me, and he's like, yeah, I'm like getting drunk with all of these chicks and blah blah blah. And I was just like, I just laughed my ass off, and I was like, fuck you, bye. And I had to deal with the repercussions the next day, but like,
that's healthy.
I was just like,
For
I'm
the
not
trip?
I wasn't gonna let him affect me.
You
I
did
was like,
what was right for the trip.
yep. I like didn't even give it a second thought. I was like, you know what? You go have fun. Cause he was like trying to come over at one point too. And I was like, you're not, I'm like, you're not tripping. You're not part of this experience. And he's like, well, I could take some mushrooms. I'm like, it's not the same.
So smart.
Yeah.
Such a smart choice.
Yeah. 16-year-old Emma did do some right things too. Huh. Yeah.
Cause I would have made a terrible mistake. I did. That's how I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to put
So
yourself
you had a good day.
Yeah, it was a fantastic trip. We had such a great time. Like, my friend's boyfriend disappeared at some point, and we were just like, well,
Just
he went somewhere.
Into the mirror.
I think that's exactly what he did. I think he went into the main bathroom and just like
Dude, the
got stuck in
bathroom
there.
is a black hole for drugs. Yeah. I've been sitting on the toilet trying to pee, and just like the spots in the tile. Because like I didn't have to pee a lot, but I had to pee enough where I was uncomfortable. So I just went and sat down, fucking started staring at the tiles, and all the like spots started just like swarming towards my feet. And I was just like, I don't even know if I peed, but I ran out into the living room, and I was just like, we have a fucking bug problem now. I was like, I know we can't handle this, but we need exterminators. Like, we have to clean this up. And everybody went in there. The crew, and everybody was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm on acid. Like, but Phil came out, he went and stood in the shower for like 15 minutes, never turned it on.
That sounds about right.
Came out, it was just like, the shower doesn't work. It was either that or the shower's been running or something, and or it flooded the bathroom or something. I don't know. But we went in there and everything was fine. But I'm telling you, the bathroom is the black hole of drug experiences.
Yeah.
Like, it's the only time where you're actually like isolated, where people aren't going to come in. If you walk into your bedroom and somebody thinks about you, they're going to come in.
Yeah.
But if you're in the bathroom, they're like, they must be going through some shit. Like, stomach shit or
Yeah.
whatever, you know, or staring in the mirror, fucking seeing your dad and panicking like Phil did. It was weird times.
Yeah.
Weird
Sounds like
times.
it.
When we got into psychedelics, we dove like off a cliff.
Yeah.
Just
Some
fucking-
people do. I've always been, weirdly enough, a very moderate psychedelic taker. Like, I'm like, I'll take a little bit and see how it affects me. And then if it's, like, worth it, then I'll keep going. But especially with acid, because I just never know. Like,
Well, you take a half hit to test the dosage of the strip, right?
mm-hmm.
For everybody out there, just always test your acid before you take more than a hit.
Yep.
Like, a hit and a half is, you know, pretty safe grounds. But once you take 2 hits, if it's really strong, you're fuckity fucked. Like,
Yeah.
always take a half hit to test it, and you should be able to gauge. And I wouldn't take more than like 2 hits to start with. Like, if you're trying to if you're at a music festival, like, literally no cops, no civilians, just savages and
Yeah.
music. Like, most people aren't wearing a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's dusty because you're in the middle of a dirt field.
Yep.
Like, shit like that, or Red Rocks even, very accommodating as long as you don't, like, fall asleep. But, yeah, 2 hits max. And then one time I took a 3rd hit at Red Rocks, actually, and it was wild.
Yeah.
But we made it home. Made it to the motel.
Well, that's good. That's all that matters.
We didn't drive.
Okay.
We got
I
a
was
ride.
going to say.
No.
I remember, like, I had this one friend who every time he took mushrooms, like, had to go on
Wanted
an
to
adventure.
drive?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah. He, like, had to go on an adventure. Like, I remember one time us talking him down because he was like, I need to go get gas. And we were like, why? You're not going anywhere. Why do you... He's like, well, my car is out of gas. And I'm like, that's not important right now. Like, you're not
It's
going
the last
anywhere.
thing on our mind, homie.
You're like,
You
we're
get gas
not...
on the way to work, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. But he was like, well, I just need to go. And we were like, fine, like, just go get gas, get us these snacks, and come back. Because we were all wanting some, like, you know, gummy candy. There's something about gummy
Just
candy.
put his
when-
life at risk.
Well, he was
For me, it
determined
was
to
thin
go.
crust pizza.
Mm.
It had to be crispy. 2 chewies, no bueno. For
Yeah.
Psychedelics and me.
I remember one time being on psychedelics and like it was me and a couple other people and we were in like the living room of this big house that we all lived in, and the one guy who wasn't tripping came in and just knew that
The
we were
worst.
tripping, and he was just like, oh, anybody hungry? And started making like fucking cheeseburgers. And it was like 2 a.m. too, and just like the smell of like the meat and the fat and just like all of it, because we were like peeking. It was horrible. We were just like sitting there trying to watch Across the Universe and like have a nice time, you know?
I did that night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah, and like it the smell of the burgers just like kind of triggered like a mass
Yeah.
vomit exodus, you know, and so
Gross.
like all of us just kind of like disappeared for a minute, and you know,
Cried in your room.
yeah, and then the buddy of course like came and sat on the couch with us, like eating his burgers, like fucking with us. Oh, this is so good, this is so tasty, you sure you don't want to bite? And I'm like, no, this is disgusting, get it away from me.
Gross. What a dick.
And he put like sauteed mushrooms and blue cheese and like onions on it just to make it extra stinky, just to be a dick, you know? And you're like, if I was sober, that would probably be really appealing. But right
Savory.
now, you know,
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I like drugs. I only do them like once or twice a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a whole day. When do I have a whole day?
Yeah. I have like the next week off. So I'm kind of
What?
like, I don't want to have the next week off, but I do. My hours got cut back because there's people back who are more senior than me. So.
Damn, and you got a week off?
Well, I worked yesterday and then I'm not scheduled again until Friday.
Damn.
Yeah. So 3 days a week is what I'm down to right now, and I fucking hate it.
I'm trying to get down to 3 days a week. You just gotta get trained up.
Yeah, so I can start taking people's hours.
That would be fantastic. I want more options like that.
Yeah.
That's half the reason I love little Tyler, as he can cover me on most shifts.
I like working, and I'm trying to save up so I can move away from here, you know?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Probably Vegas.
Really?
Yeah. I want to pursue comedy more. And
There's
also,
a lot of comedy there. I just bet it's soul crushing.
Jill keeps telling me that Vegas is where I need to go. We'll see, though. I have this feeling that I'm going to go on this trip to California and then be like, why the fuck am I not moving to California? I just want to be somewhere where I can do comedy, work in a
Expensive.
restaurant.
Vegas
and
is affordable.
Yeah. No, I was looking
And
at
there's
apartments.
restaurants all day.
Yeah, that's the biggest part of it for me. And I have a friend out there, and I'm sick of winter, dude.
It's a lot of ingredients.
I'm sick of being fucking cold.
Yeah.
Like I thought about Texas, but like I hate Texans. Why would I move to Texas? There's like Austin, which is the one cool spot, but I don't really know anybody in Texas, and it's just not really like my scene.
I'm kind of thinking Nashville, bro. Go fucking chill with Maxie. Atlanta's not that far.
Yeah.
Super doable for like a weekend trip, drive to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And there's comedy.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking over the masks.
Yeah.
But luckily work's getting us vaccinated.
I know. Do you have the appointment?
Yeah, boy.
Fuck yeah, me too. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I need to like sign up for this. And then I was like freaking out because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get my appointment. And then I did.
Yeah. I was scared of the vaccine, but at this point, whatever.
Yeah.
So many people have lived. So many people in my family have gotten it, and they were in the medical field, so they got it right away. And they're like, yeah, just fucking do it, man.
I'm not scared of
I
it.
got other vaccines too,
Yeah. My biggest thing, like, I'm a little worried about the timing because, like, Jay was fucked up the day after. And
Whatever.
I'm getting it
I have
the
to
day
work the
before
next day.
I'm getting it the day before my birthday. Granted, I'm getting a fucking pap smear on my birthday, and I don't have any plans, so, like, whatever, fuck it. Everybody's like, what are you doing for your birthday? I'm like, I'm going to the doctor. And that's
special.
it.
I haven't been to the doctor in a grip.
Oh, that's one thing that was really nice about being unemployed for a while is I got myself on that Medicaid, and I'm trying to knock out as much shit as I possibly can while I still have it. So, I'm going and getting a camera shoved down my throat in the beginning of May, so that we can try and finally figure out these stomach issues, because I don't know if you knew this, but I was puking in the back trash can like all day at work the other day. All of the other cold ciders got sent home except for me. And I was so fucking pissed off. And Tony was like, just smoke more weed. You'll be fine. I was like, thanks, dude.
Yeah, but Tony knows how to power through.
Yeah.
Tony trained me. Tony trained a lot of people.
Yeah, Tony's my boy.
Usually Keone's the only one that pukes in the back.
That's what I heard. Apparently just because of hangovers.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, this is not fair because I'm not hungover.
And he
I'm
just
still
came back from Hawaii and he's back at elevation.
Oh, God.
I have a feeling we're going to see something soon.
Haven't met him yet. I saw him come in the other day and I was like, okay, this must be Keone, but yeah.
He looks Hawaiian, yeah.
Yeah.
Keone's Johnny in English.
So
we call him Johnny Tsunami.
Oh,
We
nice.
should call him that sometime.
The
He's
dude
not
I've
going to be
never
happy
met.
about
Yeah.
It's fun. We flip each other off a lot. From a distance, though.
Yeah.
That's the only way it's funny.
Yeah. You can't like just be right next to somebody and be like, fuck you.
You can.
Yeah, you can, but
Especially in
it's
the
not as
kitchen.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like we've done a full podcast.
fun. Cool.
You want to wrap this motherfucker up
Yeah.
with
so
a bow?
yeah.
Yeah. It's your
I'm
birthday
promoting.
episode.
This is my birthday episode. So for my birthday, I am having all of my friends roast me at the Starlight Lounge
That's
Monday
Monday?
night. Yeah, so my birthday's on Thursday, but the fucking roast itself is on Monday night. Starlight Lounge, the roast of Emma Z. I mean, everybody's getting 10-minute sets from here on out with these new shows, which is going to be exciting. So, I don't expect everybody to do a full 10 minutes of just shitting on me.
No, I plan on starting with Emma, and then I'm going to roast everybody.
Sweet. Yeah, I think a lot of people want to roast each other, and I think that's great, too. And,
It's like a Comedy Central roast. Everybody throws in the bangers, for
Yep.
the host, and then actually, usually you roast everybody else first, and then you save the host for last.
okay. I, weirdly enough, never really watched, like, Comedy Central roasts,
You should
but
check one out. The one with Bieber's good.
yeah. Actually, the one that I've seen was, like, the most legendary, which was the roast of Pam Anderson, and Andy Dick and Courtney Love were on it, and they were both, like, hammered, and it was a terrible time for everybody involved, and it's great. It's iconic. So,
You should check out Tony Hinchcliffe roast battle, or not roast battle, Comedy Central roast.
okay.
Tony Hinchcliffe, he's the king. He wrote most of the jokes for like 10 of those roast shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then they let him on one, and he destroyed Snoop Dogg. It was awesome.
that's hilarious.
The roast of Snoop Dogg, Tony Hinchcliffe. Yep, fantastic. That's for everybody. But yeah, so
Yeah.
Starlight's moving to Mondays.
Yep, every Monday starts at 7:30 now, and we'll be doing 10-minute sets for stand-up. We're trying to get people in to do improv if they want to. We're kind of, flexible with that at this point, just
Yeah,
to see.
no time limit.
Yeah, 10-minute sets, not really a time limit anymore, and yeah.
I mean, on the show itself, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we used to be right before music, so we had to be out of there by a certain time.
Yeah,
so music
and now
could
we get
start.
to play around with whatever we want. I'm also going to be doing with this show a monthly feature. So I'm going to be having a comic from the Four Corners area coming out, once a month to do a 30-minute set at the end of each mic. So, that'll be the last Monday of every month. So my first person I have booked, I've got Josh Fournier coming in end of April 26th will be the Josh Fournier feature, and then May 31st I've got Kate McLaughlin coming in from Denver, so that's exciting.
Should bring a crowd.
Yeah, I'm very excited to get Kate down here to do 30 because,
She's a savage.
she's a savage.
She makes me feel stupid every time I talk to her.
I know.
That's why I love her.
I love her. And it's just going to be exciting. The timing worked out for her too, so,
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so.
Hell yeah. Well, you know where to find us. Shout out to the Whiskey Reel and shout out to Ethan Esparza and the Chava people for the intro outro music. Shout out to Dead Room Comedy for sponsoring us. Obviously, I'm going to do an intro. Thank you, Emma Z.
Thank you, Brian.
Appreciate it. Goddamn right. Double hype button. Any last words?
I like these ducks.
Goddamn right you do. All right. Later.
I almost can't believe what I've seen today. Slow motion sequences of me on the way to the beat. On the brink of putting that cheese on my plate. Eating cake, breaking bread, it's got me SMH like damn. This white boy in the black frames got the bright voice, but his rap game hella tight noise, but stack change and he acts strange like psilocybin. Light a joint, let the track bang. Hit a bone, laugh all night long, ain't worried about a damn thing. Shooting missiles so official, my initial no is triple. I'm about to blow million shows and I said fuck a whistle. When you gone, how you know your friends will miss you? Reminisce about high times, picking out their favorite issue. But wait, haters say how is it you gon' make it happen? I'm in the mountains, man. I'll bait the game and trapping. Survival tactics, making blankets and jackets, microphone savage. Like fuck you, bitch, I'm the baddest. Up to the party like it's a red carpet event. I pull up to the party like it's a red carpet event. Where you been, trip? Where you going next? Everybody getting bent and them hoes having sent. Pull up to the party like it's a red carpet event. I pull up to the party like it's a red carpet event. Where you been, trip? Where you going next? Everybody getting bent and them hoes having sent. Turning on the ACs like picking out shoes. I do that shit because I like to keep my feet cool. Popping Coors like a barbecue with Ice Cube. Soon as we sellin', ain't no telling what I might do. Calling homies in Germany, 16-hour flight fool. They tripping on my shit and calling me the bomb dude. And bitches wanna fuck me while they listen to my tunes. Face down, ass up, saying don't get shown. Eric saying when we get a couple European properties. Smooth living in this business, nobody stopping me. Meantime, I'm writing and stay rolling up them proper trees. Whack rappers blowing this game, they should get off their knees. Shopping comma loop. When I got that cheese, it's kinda bullshit though. I want my jackets for free. I'm betting stacks on myself like the Italian team. Cause every day I live thinking I'm the baddest MC. Up to the party like it's a red carpet event. I pull up to the party like it's a red carpet event. Where you been, trip? Where you going next? Everybody getting bent and them hoes having sent. Pull up to the party like it's a red carpet event. I pull up to the party like it's a red carpet event. Where you been, trip? Where you going next? Everybody getting bent and them hoes having sent. I'm on my way now. What she said in the text, she bringing over her friends. I put a clutch in the end, she bringing over her friends. Put a clutch in the end, pass it around but bring it back so I can puff it again. Overcome this shit, I don't think so, homie. I can run this here with what I done this year. Overrun this shit, plans I've been storing. Write some lyrics in the leer, trying to make it a career. Then I drift in no Carrera, round them street corners. Everybody staring and them pretty women want us. New outfit, I'm wearing new caps for my homies keep a stick in the trunk to beat them ugly bitches off me. Acting all fussy, step into my office, hit them with the paper, let them know who the boss is. You don't like the rules, don't let it hit you in your ass. Future freshman of the year, flying colors, I will pass.